Welcome to Master of the Game. I am Juice, and today I managed to pick up this. That's right. So obviously I just did this with my wife. We got her impression on a lot of the stuff. If you want to see that video, it's right over here. We got her opinion in that video, and as somebody who runs some games, who is definitely, I would say, a more moderate to advanced player, a starter set might not be for her. And for her, it basically was down to the adventure path. Was it a good one or not? So for 25 bucks, there is a lot of value in this box, you know, between the dice, the different cards, the maps, you know, everything you're going to use for the adventure. Some stuff you're probably not going to need, especially if you already have a player's handbook, you're familiar with the rules, then you're not going to use the rule packet. But you might have a player at your table who is brand new or doesn't own a book, and now the packet of rules can be used for that person who's just sitting down for the first time. It's something that you could let them borrow to read, to get an idea for the game in their own time. Maybe you create characters together and then you say, hey, go read this sometime, you know, in your free time. But anyway, so I think the value is really good in this box set. So, you know, I would highly recommend picking it up if you see the value there for you. Again, if you're brand new, I would say get this and then move on to getting this. This first, then this. And you might ask me why. This gives you pre-made characters. It's cool and I like it. It gives you some dice. It gives you an adventure module called Lost Mines of Phandelver that is really good. However, I just think that this is going to teach your players better than that one. Now, when you are, and this is my preview. With this, you're going to get, again, the double-sided map, the Dungeon Master screen, blank character sheets, 11 dice, 81 cards for magic items, sidekicks, initiative, condition cards. So you also get the code for D&D Beyond, which is like $8 off or something on a player's handbook. I don't remember how much it is on the website for D&D Beyond, but you get half off. It's going to give you the free additional adventures of level 7, level 9, and 11, I believe, as of September 3rd. You know, so I think it's going to be really, really helpful. There's no reason you couldn't use this box right here and do your own homebrew stuff, whether it's at a convention or not, and you can just take it in this and you got everything you need to play. There's nothing you need other than this to play D&D. It's got monsters in it. It's got characters, you know, character creation. So it's got everything you need to get started. So, and one of the best things about D&D is creating your character. So I think this is more fun than the one with the pre-made characters. Now, this box, again, beautiful art. I love the art on here. It looks like you have a wizard shooting some green blades or projectiles. Maybe it's magic missile at the white dragon. It looks like maybe I don't know, someone with a staff, maybe a druid right here. I can't quite tell what that is. Who is also there, looks like doing something, maybe giving some bardic inspiration to our wizard friend here. Or cleric, that might even be a cleric. So yeah, so you may have a druid and a cleric, not sure. But beautiful artwork. The box for the cards, really, really handy. Keeping your cards all organized. That's one of the big issues I have with some of the cards I've made myself, but I also have bought cards. The dice, again, are pretty nice, easily readable. They have the D4 that is correct, where the number's at the top of the point rather than the flat at the bottom. That's how I prefer my D4s. Yeah, you got they're all translucent. You got 2 D20s like we've discussed. They look gorgeous. I like this translucent red. The numbers on the D6 are a little small. They're the smaller ones, it looks like. But they're good. They're good dice. They're nice dice. I like them. Okay. So next I'm going to jump into the adventure, which we briefly talked about on the other video with my wife as well. And it says 12 and up, which is kind of interesting because I'm running this for my 8-year-old daughter. I don't know if there's anything very graphic in here that's going to like be too much for an 8-year-old or not, but I will read through it before I run it. It's good. So the first thing I want to say is this actually has a cover compared to the Lost Mines of Phandelver and the other one. That was basic. The cover was the exact same type of paper wrapped around it and stapled to that adventure module. So it starts with how to run the adventure, talks about the different cards, basically the contents that are in the box, it looks like. Gives you some tips as DM. And it looks like some stuff that might be helpful to some people who have never played. Well, definitely helpful to people who have never played. But maybe some stuff that'll be helpful to active DMs as well. Again, you've got some information about the areas. So map of the Sword Coast, and it talks about the areas. That's kind of nice up front. Then it says first session, character creation. So it's starting you off with character creation in the adventure module. It tells you the character options for this, which is dwarf, elf, halfling, human, bard, cleric, fighter, rogue, wizard for classes, and then backgrounds, acolyte, criminal, entertainer, sage, soldier. So they're limited, but it's expected with the starter set. You're not going to get everything. It talks about the adventure beginning. One thing I will say, if you are looking to run a module, read it first. Always read it first, cover to cover. If you have to skim parts, that's fine, but try to get one good read through and then read the first part again and then run that part. If there's any questions or you remember things tying to other things in that first part, try to link it together, Embrace the story, of the intended story of the module, and create suspense, create, all the important storytelling aspects, create conflict to draw players in. Looks like it's got rumors table, dragons locations, different maps. It's got a lot of good maps, as mentioned before. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Yeah, I like that. It is just mostly maps. There's not a lot of flavor pictures other than maps throughout this, actually. Normally in a module, normal modules, you've got other art, whether it's creatures in the area, items, things like that. So here's an example. You've got this little character, but that is also at the end of the adventure. It says, where next? And then it shares their normal modules on here. It does not make mention, it looks like, of the modules that are coming with D&D Beyond for this set, which is level 7, level 9, and level 11. And I don't know how high the level 11 one goes before it ends. Assuming based on the 7, 9, and 11, though, I would assume at least 2 levels, so maybe level 13. It would be kind of cool to play those all the way through and then jump to one of these others as level 13. It would be easy mode, probably, but I think it would make it a lot more fun. All right, creature stat blocks, gets into monsters. There are, actually, Anchorite of Talos, medium humanoid. That is one that is not in other books that I've seen, that I can remember. Maybe it is. Got different blights, got the Banshee, Commoner, Cow. I don't know if a cow is somewhere else. It's got a couple NPCs here. Don John Raskin, Falcon the Hunter. Okay. The artwork for the ghoul is cool. The giant spider artwork is nice. So I showed you guys the ghoul in the other video, so I'm not going to show all of it. The harpy looks good. Gorthok the Thunderboar. That is cool. Those are all existing. Sturges. Okay. All right. So there's that. Let's go to the next. So then we got the cards. So I wanted to mention that because this wasn't really brought up. The cards are extremely durable. Like these are thick, durable cards. They're beefy. Look at that. Like I bend it and that's pretty good. Like that's not gonna be, that's not gonna rip or have a lot of problems very easily, I feel. So you got the initiative ones, which I think are useful if everybody has an area where you can easily see these at. If you can't, that's going to be difficult. And that's the reason I don't like certain systems that use cards for initiative, for example. It's because sometimes it's hard to see, especially if you're next to somebody. You don't know exactly what number they have sometimes, or you forget. And it changes so frequently that you're always having to like, oh, what are you? Oh, okay. So anyways, but the condition cards are really cool. It's got the little crib sheet for combat, determine surprise, establish positions, roll initiative, take turns, begin the next round. That's pretty cool. The conditions are really good. I think that's going to be very helpful for me even to give my players. I've made my own condition cards when D&D first came out, and I used them. I also had the inspiration cards that I made that were cool. I love the art on here. Like, that is beautiful. And I think the thing that's most exciting about it to me is that it's actually in color. Based on the other cards, which I've seen people post pictures of, I think that is really nice. So we got that. The magic items are cool. However, it could have been more like the NPC cards where you have the pictures of the items. That would have been cool. I like that they have perishables on here multiple times, like the healing potions. Do they have greater healing on here? Oh, you know what? They don't have them. Oh, yeah, they do. Potion of healing is on here 5 times. Potion of greater healing is on here once. Oh, superior healing. Another regular healing. So, okay. So the perishables, some of them, the really common ones, are on here multiple times. So that's nice. Some interesting magic items on here that I've never seen. So that'd be cool to use those. Quest cards. I got some really cool ones. So, yeah. So there's that. Boom. I'm excited about the maps. So the reason I'm excited about the maps is I am looking to decorate my room. As you can see, there's nothing on the wall behind me. I need to get some frames to hang up some current art from like the Art and Arcana book and stuff. But you got a town, Vandalin. And then you've got the Sword Coast. So Sword Coast is a popular area. I would probably put the Sword Coast up. I might already have a map of it somewhere, but if not, this will be the map that'll go up probably. I don't envision myself putting the Vandalin map up. It'll just be the Sword Coast one. That's the side I would use. Okay, so the rule book. Again, it's a cover. It's a legit cardstock cover. So that's better than the starter set right there. The thing that I am curious about with this is more so the sidekicks. I think that's the big thing for me. Talks about playing the game. So it has some rules in here that I would be curious to read and see if it reads similar to the player's handbook or if they dumb it down a little. I know creating characters dumbed down, there's less options, and that's okay. And in here, they don't go as high as the player's handbook, obviously. They stop at 6th level. So you should be able to get to 6th level using this, and then you can, use the player's handbook. 6th level is still pretty good. Like, I've played games up to 5th or 6th level that have been really fun and felt like good campaigns. I know there's a lot of people out there that really don't like low-level D&D right now. They like higher level and like starting at 4th level or 3rd level. But I really enjoy the low-level D&D in here. I want to point out this artwork real quick because this is gorgeous. Look at that. That is a cool picture. That's amazing. the wizard casting the spell. You've got what looks like a rogue or a bard shooting a crossbow, and then maybe a fighter or a ranger or a bard. I can't tell. Probably a ranger or a fighter putting a sword through the head of a bad guy. And it's only 3 characters, so that's cool. The artwork style changes though. The artwork style isn't exactly from the player's handbook for some of these things in here. It's its own style. It's unique. It's black and white. Kind of reminds me of the conditions inside the book. Okay, so I take that back. This totally is the style of the player's handbook. So it, I guess, just depends on the page. But see, then it's back to this black and white. So I'm okay with that. It looks good. It's just interesting that in the player's handbook, the art style is one way throughout pretty much the whole book. This has a lot of black and white art. It switches things up. So I'm curious if that's something they're going to do more in future books. I don't know. But I like it. I think that'll be useful. The DM screen. So it looks like the DM screen is just before the big battle on the cover. You have a bard. You have a cleric, which the cleric is on the cover, shooting the green stuff. You have... It does not show you that character with the staff on the cover. Am I missing it? I don't know where they are. Huh. Yeah, I don't see them. They must be invisible. So maybe they're a wizard, not a druid. I don't know if druids get that spell. But they're all going forward to attack the dragon. So I'm probably going to put this in my showcase up here behind my miniatures against the back wall, because I think the artwork is nice enough to show off. But I really like it. If you're curious what this is, it's kind of like a cardstock. It reminds me of the slip cover that was with your DM screens that wraps around them in the previous, packages of DM screens. Kind of reminds me of that cover a little bit, of the slip. And then you get 6 character sheets. So that's what you get. I think this is a really good product. If you're just starting in D&D, I 100% recommend starting with this before you jump to the starter set. I think if you're someone who's been playing for a little bit, you might not get the most value out of it. If you need things like dice, if you're interested in the cards, if you're interested in the module, all those things, 100% pick it up. You won't be disappointed. I haven't read the module. I'm assuming it's good. I'm pretty sure it is. And I'm going to play it. I'm going to run it. It's going to be on this channel. So if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe. I'll be running it for my 8-year-old daughter. So you will see how hard the module is for a single player to run through. And I'm going to read the whole thing and tell you guys what I think. So anyways, this was Master of the Game. I am Juice. Game on.